This is my Chunkman account. With a mere chunk in his possession and a dream in his heart, he began his quest to conquer the vast expanse of old-school RuneScape's landmass. He started his journey from humble beginnings in Lumbridge, but with an arsenal of custom tasks, he has faced and overcome countless challenges. His journey has taken him through the trials of total level grinding, epic quests, mysterious clues, and perilous encounters with fearsome bosses, all in order to unlock new chunks of land. Now halfway through the journey, the road ahead may be paved with even greater challenges, but with each obstacle overcome, he moves closer to his goal. So welcome to the second half of Chunkman DDK. Last episode we added 2 chunks to our map by completing the Darkness of Halavel quest, and we got some more nice upgrades for our gear by looting the Barrows chest up to 100 KC. Our map expanded with another piece of Fossil Island and the Elven city of Letia. For our next chunk I'm a little conflicted. On the one hand we could do the quest The Taste of Hope, but we could have some issues at the end with a very difficult fight. And we just did a quest, so I really want some other things to do right about now. On the other hand, we could go back to Barrows, but that's 150 KC we need to get to the 250 KC mark for our last task. I want to go and get some more items there, and we will need them if we want to go further with this account, because those upgrades are pretty much some upgrades that we will still use when we are fairly end game. So I think I'm going to do a little compromise here. I'm going to do like 10 Barrows runs, then do the actual task, and then go back to Barrows for 10 KC and do another task, and so on until we get to 250, and probably go on with doing that after we do the 250, because we will probably miss a lot of pieces that will be essential to the account. So I'm going to start with doing the 10kc, but for the rest I was actually thinking of doing some hard clues. We are currently at 14 completed, which means we only need 11 more caskets, and with those 11 more caskets we could get some upgrades in the form of some god d'hide. And we've also gotten like a ton of clue steps unlocked in the last 20 or something chunks, so I feel like this is going to be a little better than it used to be, and we already have like the 4 head start, as we ended with 10 last time, so we only need 11, which is kind of okay I think. I'm hoping this doesn't take ages, but let's see. Hey, we got something. Elite clue at 108. Can we do it is the question. Charcoal burners. No, that's on Zaya. And that's just 110. We didn't get anything except for the elite clue we had to drop immediately. So on to hard clues we go. Hey, we finally got our first caskets. Let me get my other clue from the ground. The first casket actually took a while. We already had to drop 2 clues, and these 2 clues took like 200 kills to get, so we were a little dry, but finally we have a casket. Casket open. Ooh, that's actually terrible. A lot of hellhounds later, this is 95 hit points. And we've done about 50% of 97 to 98 range. Only 1 completion of a hard clue. I'm kind of starting to think this was a mistake. But let's see if we get a little bit more lucky on the hard clues. I think we're just a little bit dry. Let's go at least to 98 range. If that doesn't give us any light at the end of the tunnel for our clue task, we might have to switch the task up. Hey, that's another casket. These take a little longer than I expected them to be, but we finally have our second casket, 16th in total. Let's see what we are going to get. Ooh, we do get a new collection log slot, an ancient kite shield. It's not what we were looking for, but let's just go get another clue to combine with this one we still have left over. And hopefully we can actually finish it, because we had to drop quite a few clues already. And there we go, another casket. 6-stepper. Had to use 2 clues, but we did get the casket. We even had to do the agility pyramid step where we needed the heraldic shield for, but we got one in one of the last caskets, so this is actually amazing that we could do this casket. But let's first get to safety before we open this. Back to safety, let's see what our 17th casket will be. A little bit of sharks and a little bit of law runes, but that's about it. Hey, another casket. And if we go to the Grand Exchange, we still have a clue left over on the ground. Let's see what casket number 18 will give us. Also, nothing special. Hey, look at that, another casket. This is a bit of an annoying spot to be in, because we still have another clue as well, and I had to take them both with me into the wilderness because it's in the demonic ruins. Back to safety, let's see what's in our 19th hard casket. And another level 77 prayer. That's the last one we need to get all of the prayers, but we don't have Chamber of Zerek anywhere near our chunk, so that's just some extra prayer we have and some extra prayer points we can get back from the prayer potions. And we are also almost close to 98 range, so this is definitely taking longer than I expected it to be. But we've made our bed, we only need 6 more clues, so let's hope we get it before we hit 99 ranged. And there we have it, casket number 20. Let's see what's in it. Hey, there's 98 ranged. 5 more clues left to go in total, or 5 more caskets actually. Let's see if we can do it before we hit 99 ranged. I kinda think we will, but yeah, our luck here hasn't been the greatest. Hey, there's casket number 21, and if you go to the active hunters, we have another hard clue here. Let's see what's in it. And finally, we get another casket. We do have, again, a clue left over that we can do, so let's pick it up. But this one took 9 hard clue drops before we actually got it. So, quite a painful casket to get. But let's see, casket number 22 is going to give us, again, nothing useful. Okay, 3 to go. Hey, there's another casket. And again, we have a clue left over. I feel like either we get a casket from 1 clue or we don't get any by doing 2 clues, which is very strange. But either way, let's see what is going to be casket number 23. Oh, there's another casket. This is an incredibly annoying spot to be in when we have 2 clues juggling, but at least we can actually access it. Now to see what is in our 24th casket. Let's open it. Ooh. Alright, I guess we'll try to get another clue for this one here, and then hope that gives us a 25th casket to complete the task. Oh, and there we have it. The last casket. We needed the 2 clues we gathered, but we're finally done with the last casket. Let's first of all look at what is in our last casket, our 25th. Let's just open it. Ooh, okay, that was definitely worth the wait. I was looking for some god d'hide items, but we were just not getting any, and then on the last casket we get 2. Saradomin d'hide body and ancient bracers. Ancient bracers are actually amazing if we ever want to do necks. Those are pretty much the best thing to have. Really happy with this. Big upgrades all around, which is pretty much what we were looking for from these caskets. And I was thinking that maybe doing some more battles would have been faster to get some upgrades for our ranged gear than doing these clues, but this pretty much made up for it. I'm just gonna have a little look on what's the difference between all of the items we have. So Black Dragonhide body on, and wow, Saradomin D'hide body is just so much better defense wise. It doesn't give any ranged upgrades though. So in general it's pretty good, but I thought this had a little bit more ranged accuracy as well, but okay. Just a straight upgrade, always a good thing of course. And then going from the Black Dragonhide Vampirazes to the Ancient Bracers, 1 prayer, 2 stab, 2 crush. That's just a minor upgrade. And if we check the Adamant Gloves, yeah, it's pretty much only magic and the ranged and the prayer. So I think in general, if we are not doing ranged only, the Adamant Gloves are still better. But if we're doing anything else, the Ancient Bracers will definitely be better. This took really long to do. I think we had a completion rate of like 1 in 4 to 1 in 5 to get all of the caskets. If we look to the loot tracker, we have 5,641 kills on our tracker with 91 clues we've gotten. This is not only just what we did just now, because I forgot to reset the tracker, but I think we did like 4,000 hellhounds just to get the last couple of caskets we needed, which is just way too much. I don't think I'm ever going to do the hard clues actively anymore. I'm probably going to do it when I need some Slayer levels or anything that we get passive hard clues from, because this is just not working. We definitely do not have enough of the map, which I thought was getting a little better, but apparently it isn't. But we got through it. The first 25 caskets are done. Let's go back to our spreadsheet to complete it over there, and then let's finally pick another chunk. Before we complete our task, our hard clue task, we have a new quest in the game, which is called Children of the Sun, which I have added to our quest list. So that means that at the quest level here, we will have 169 quests in total. And it's a pretty easy quest, so that's pretty much what we're going to do next after this completion, no matter the chunk we get. But let's first of all complete the hard clue task. We have completed 25 hard clues. At the end, they did pay off, so I'm very happy we did them. But I'm also very happy that we finally completed them, as this was our 57th clue task completed for our 305th chunk. And then back to our map. The last chunk we unlocked was the Letya chunk, which is going to be very useful in the future, but for now it doesn't really do much other than unlocking Terranwin without having actual access to it. There's still quite a few chunks we want to have, so let's see if we can get one. Let's pick a chunk. Oh, we are getting very, very close to Relica now. We needed this one to get into Relica, but in general, this chunk is pretty much what we needed. If we just can get the Relica chunk, we would unlock quite a few things. I'm just not sure if we would be able to do Waterbird Island, so the DKs, if we just unlock this one, because I think we need a couple more to do the trials, to do the Fremnik trials. But okay, solid chunk, we unlocked, we needed it. It doesn't really do much for us right now, but I think that's all okay. We have a very good chunk now that we can unlock next time. Before we go and do the new quest, Children of the Sun, might as well do 10 more Barrows runs. And then we have chest number 120 already. And we don't get anything. Okay. Let's just do the new quest instead. To start the newest quest in the game, we have to talk to Noah here. Alina is talking to Noah, and she's mentioning that the Kingdom of Orlamore, after 100 years finally opens its doors, and there will be a delegation of the people of Varlamore coming here to the town of Varrock, so that's why she is so excited. And there they are, the delegation of Varlamore. That's a lot of knights and the prince I see. Meeting up with our dear king Rold. While the guards are on high alert for the delegation, it seems like one guard here is carrying a big bag and Sergeant Tobin is inquiring about that very bag. But just let him go. Okay, seems like a bit weird. We're a master in recognizing some weird things, so might as well follow this guy. And he goes into a house with a band of bandits. The one guard we were following apparently stole a lot of guard equipment, and the band of bandits is onto something probably to do with the delegation, so let's go and talk to the sergeant and make him aware of that. After talking to Sergeant Tobin, he just mentions that if we want to prevent this from being a widespread chaos, we just need to find the 4 people, the 4 bandits, before they can do anything. So he wants us to mark them if we find some guards who aren't doing anything guard-like. Like for example, this guard seems to be fine with a longsword and all of the steel equipment. But a little further on, this guy looks more like a strong man than a guard, so that's a little fishy. Let's mark this guy. She is not wearing a mask, so that's also pretty fishy. Let's mark him as well. This guard is loitering around Lowe's Imperium here, the ranging shop, so that's also pretty fishy. That's 3 of them. 1 more to go. And we can already see someone with a steel mace instead of a steel longsword like all of the other guards. So that should be the last one. Let's talk to the sergeants so we can round them up all at once. After taking the bandits into custody, the sergeant took us up to the interrogation room, and the prince that was in the Varlamorian delegation actually wanted to interrogate this bandit to see what he's up to. So it seems like he's a very hands-on prince. After some threatening of the prince to the bandit, we finally made him talk, and he said he was being paid by some foreigners, most likely people from the prince's country, and that the priest was the target. And that's the end of the quest. The prince knew enough and wanted to go back to the politics downstairs, and he invited us to go to his country, and that's pretty much the end of the quest. A very fast quest, and we get 1 quest point and we will have access to Varlamore. But Varlamore is very, very far away for us. So this very big void here, this is where Varlamore will be, like just below the Zaya continent. But as Zaya is already pretty far away, Varlamore is also going to be very, very far away. But for now, let's just be happy that we got this 1 free chunk with this introduction to Varlamore. And when Varlamore releases on March the 20th, we will have a bunch more chunks to add to our goal of unlocking the entire landmass. Well, that was one pretty free task we have done. This will also be our 100th quest completed. So, Children of the Sun has been completed. We now have 3 digits of quests completed and 306 landmass chunks unlocked in total. And then back to our map. The last chunk we unlocked was the one just below Relaka. So we have the entrance now, and it would be amazing if we could get the Relaka city as well. But that's of course not up to us, but up to the chunk picker. And here you can also see with the full map zoomed out, there's such a big gap here in the map where all of the chunks will be for the Varlamorian continent. I'm pretty much guessing that it will be like 100 chunks or something like that. That was going to be in this part that we will have to add to our goal. But that's still a couple of months away, so we'll see it when it happens. But now we can just pick another chunk, and that's just what we are going to try to do with the chunk picker here. Let's pick a chunk. Oh, the God Wars dungeon. That's a very big unlock. The only problem is here that I'm not really sure if we are ready to go to God Wars yet. It's definitely a major unlock. There's a couple of clue steps, there's 5 bosses, there's 1 mini quest. So in general, this is an amazing chunk to unlock. But I think we will have to look at what boss we will be able to do there that's somewhat viable to do. I'm pretty excited on what this will bring to the account, but also a little bit worried about how our account will do at those bosses. Well, the God Wars dungeon is a very big unlock for us, but I'm not really sure if we can actually defeat one of the bosses yet with our gear and such. So while I figure out on what to do next, I'll just do some more Barrows runs, so like 10 more like usual, and then let's see after those 10 what we are going to do. Alright, we're just back and we get an elite clue. Wise, yeah, that's definitely not going to happen anytime soon, so that's a drop. And there's skill number 130 already, and we did not get anything except for that elite clue. I was thinking about which boss we were going to do for the God Wars, and I'd actually like to try them at least once. And the first boss I actually want to try is Commander Ziliana, but we are missing one thing, and that's stamina potions. Stamina potions are actually very close to what we already have, so we have 76 Herblore and we need 77. So what I'm going to do is just do some more farm runs, get the level, make some stamina potions, then gear up with the best gear we've gotten, and then we'll go and try to run some laps around Ziliana to see if we can actually kill her with our very limited gear. But if we manage to do that, we get our 1 KC, that is a task completed, so that would mean we get another chunk as well. And there we go, that's the Herblore level. We can now finally make stamina potions, and I've already done 1 agility level, and we will need another one as we need level 70 to enter the Saradomin area of the God Wars dungeon. I thought it was something else that we needed 70 for Kree, but apparently it's for Saradomin. We're almost halfway to the level, so this shouldn't take that much longer, and that way we will also have a little bit more of these marks of grace to make some more stamina potions. And there's the 70 agility we need. And here we have access to the Saradomin God Wars dungeon area. And there go our last amylase crystals. But we do have 250 stamina potions. There's just one more thing before we can actually go and kill the boss. And for that we need some rope. To get to the God Wars for the first time, I'm gonna use the Gommel's Hilt, as we do have the Trollheim teleport here. But for that, we first of all need to unlock our latest chunk. Oh, we would have actually been teleported outside. Let me try that actually. So, Trollheim teleport. And, oh yeah, indeed, we are just outside of the chunk. So, we can unlock it this way. Oh, let's unlock it. There we go. And now we can also use this little crack here to get in. Yeah, there we go. We do not have the fire built yet, which is kind of annoying, as we are losing stats while we are walking here. But we needed a rope to get into this hole here. Put the rope there, and there we go. We're in the God Wars dungeon. we need to go to the Sarah encampment. So we need to tie a rope over here as well. Climb down. And then we have another rope that we need to get down to the last level. And then we are at the boss. Alright, it's time to do this. As you can see in the inventory, we have a ranged pot, a stamina pot to kite around the room, some prayer potions, some food, and an ecumenical key because I don't want to get KC here and waste some prayer. Our gear is pretty much our best gear for ranged, except for the Gutten's helm because we wanted defenses and we needed a Zamorak item, so that's why we have the Unholy Book. And I took the adamant gloves because they are better defense-wise and not that much worse than the Van braces we have. I also made some diamond bolts E, so adamant bolts with a diamond on it. So we have the defense penetration, which is the special effect from these bolts. And then a few things that need explaining is that, as you can see, when Zeliana is moving, you can actually see her true tile. This is going to be very helpful because we don't want to get hit by her melee attack because that would do us a lot of damage. Otherwise, I've also put on the true tile for ourselves. And then the last thing, which is for me a very important one, is I'm using custom menu swaps. It happens that when you are kiting Zeliana, Starlight here is the melee minion and they are stacked upon each other, and when you are trying to click on the enemy, then you are sometimes hitting Starlight instead of Zeliana, which is quite annoying. So with the custom swaps, if Starlight and Commander Zeliana are on the same stack, it will mean that we will hit or we will click Commander Zeliana instead of Starlight, which will help us a lot because we do not want to miss any damage here, because I'm not really sure how this will go. I'm pretty sure that we should get one kill, but I'm not sure by which margin we will get that kill. And now, let's try this. Let's drink the ranged pot. Let's get in. And let's start running. We're actually hitting quite decently, which is really nice to see. Already over half health. So it seems like we will definitely be able to get the kill, definitely if we're hitting that high. Nice 34. And that's the kill? Oh yes, that's the kill. Nice. We actually did it. 1kc Ziliana, and I thought we were pretty much guaranteed to get the key piece for the next room, but apparently we don't get it. I'm not really sure why or how. Holy shit, we're getting destroyed now. Yeah, I'm just gonna teleport out. I don't think it's worth killing the minions or going for a second kill. We pretty much have done what we came there to do, and that's kill Ziliana once for our task completion. That actually went way better than I expected. We were way more accurate than I imagined we were going to be with a rune crossbow and some adamant bolts. So I'm actually very happy that we could do this 1kc. And the 1kc of course completes the task, and that task then of course unlocks another chunk. So let's go back to our spreadsheet and then let's pick another chunk. Before we actually complete our boss task, Scorias has been released, so that means we have 4 extra boss tasks added to our list. So if we look to our boss list, Scorias was added for 1kc, 50kc, 100kc and 250kc. So 4 tasks in total like every other boss. And we can pretty much already do the boss as we have everything unlocked and we are strong enough. So these are actually very good for the account. But then back to the actual completion of the task we did. We completed the first KC for Commander Ziliana. Let's complete it. This was our 42nd boss task we have completed and our 307th chunk. And then back to our map. The last chunk we unlocked was of course the God Wars dungeon, which is going to prove to be a very big unlock for the account. I did not think we would kill Commander Ziliana that fast or that easily. So that's a very big one to have unlocked on our map. Everything around it was already unlocked, so that was also one of the more solitary chunks on our map. As we have just unlocked the God Wars dungeon with all of the bosses together with Scurious that has just been released. I wouldn't mind actually rolling something not that great this time around, but let's see what the chunk picker will give us. Let's pick a chunk. Okay, starting off with some water. But water is a reroll as it is not a landmass chunk, so let's pick another chunk. Okay, another piece of water. It's been a while since we've rolled that much water chunks in a row, but the third one should be the charm. Let's see, let's pick a chunk. Oh. Okay, I mentioned that I wouldn't mind a not so good chunk, but this is pretty much an amazing chunk. The Baxtorian Falls will do a lot for us. On the one hand, we finally can do the elite clue step here, where we needed Otto's Grotto twice when we did Barrow's KC last episode. But on the other hand, we finally have access to the quest that starts here, the waterfall quest. I think we have all the rest unlocked as we need to be over here. There's also a hard clue step, I think, here, or is it 2 steps? I'm not really sure anymore. And it's a pre-requirement for a lot of other quests, so yeah, that's 2 very good chunks in a row, which I did not really expect. And with that, we'll end the episode. The waterfall chunk together with the God Wars dungeon chunk are both pretty amazing and will give us massive progress in the long run, but the impending release of Varlamore will then also push our goal even higher and prolong our journey of unlocking all of the landmass in Gielinor. Either way, those are worries for later. We can't do much about the game adding new things, so I'll end the video with the usual. Have a nice one and see you guys later.